All right, so this is the window box we're gonna tackle today. This is the kitchen window box. It's looking pretty bad at this point. I actually didn't realize we have drip running to it, but it runs all the way around the house. Like it originates on the other side and then this is the last stop. And it wasn't being watered properly for a while. And these plants in here in the shade, it takes them a while to show any kind of damage. But then I started to notice, let me show you, started to notice a little bit of this action going on, which is so sad. So there's a couple of ferns I'm gonna keep in here. Not keep in here, but I'm gonna plant them out in the landscape. But the rest of the stuff, I think I wanna start fresh because I'm just like, ugh. So I've brought a bunch of beautiful things over here. The thing about this window box, and I think the thing about it right now, see how dark it is? It looks very, very dark because it just doesn't get a lot of light, so everything just kind of like gets lost. So I think I'm going to err on using a lot of bright stuff. So lemon cypress and this ornamental kale, I think, that has the white in the center, bright yellow violas. I might put a little bit of heuchera just for some contrast, but only very few. I may not even use it. There's some vinca right there. And I've got some other random things. There's some Snow Princess lobularia, whirlwind white scaevola. I don't think I'm going to use that. Scaevola is a little bit more cold sensitive rather. Lobularia lasts forever. And then I've got a few little pretty purple cabbage and a big weed I found in the flower bed. And these lemon cypress, I planted these in the window box on the barn last fall. And then when it got cold, because these aren't hardy here in our area, I ran out there, gathered all 6 of them up. I shoved 4 in this pot together, 2 in that pot together, along with the ivy that was in that window box. And this is where they have lived since last fall. But they look like they have lived very happily. So hopefully I don't disrupt something too much when I pull them all apart. All right, so I'm just gonna clean it out, top it up with soil, and then plant. Ta-da! Here is the finished product. I like it so much more. It's just fresh and bright and clean. And I think the reason I always err toward those darker colors is because, you know, the window box is white, the house is white, and I don't want the plants to get lost, but they get lost because it's so dark in this area most of the time. So using these lighter, brighter colors really is helpful. And it's pretty simple. I mean, 3 lemon cypress in there, all of which I bought last year and saved till this moment. And you know, they're rated down to a zone 7, and because they're underneath this overhang and they're really protected, they'll probably be able to stay out all winter unless we have a doozy, in which case I will pull them out so they can survive again. And then 4 ornamental white kale, and oh my word, I mean, you only really need 1 of these in a container because they're so massive and they're so interesting to look at and they last forever. But I did tuck some yellow violas in there, which are always a fun plant. And they'll kind of bulk up a little bit, and they usually last through our winters. The only one in here that won't last for too long are the Snow Princess lobularia right here. I took those in. I had extras in the greenhouse, and I just thought I really want to use them. Even though this area is pretty shady, they should hold for quite a long time. It's bright, but it is shady. They don't get full sun, so it would not be a good choice had I put them in like as a summer annual. They wouldn't do well here. And then I've got the 3 vinca, which I'm gonna trim a little bit so they kind of match. I really just didn't want a bunch of trailers this time. Like not a bunch of really long ones anyway, so I do want to tidy that up a bit. But it just feels good to check that off the list because this is the window box that we go by the most. I got a whole bunch more to do, whole bunch, but one is done.